So you can smile and wave. And this will be cuts, or whatever you call it. Alright, how is everybody doing? We're going to get started here with just a short video that we do for the pay period, just to give some announcements and then also give a little tip. And here today, we're going to give a little perspective from my dad's point of view. So getting started, just a huge congratulations to Matt Suter with a 4th place rookie bonus, $2,500. Just incredible and awesome job, Matt. Also with recruiters, with the last pay period, we have Jacob Patterson with 3 and Kim Rensenbrink with 2. So awesome job to you two. And just a little thing on recruiting here as we move forward, and inevitably January through April or May are going to be phenomenal for AdvoCare and your business and just AdvoCare across the country with the holidays and with the beginning of the new year. And so if we can focus on this time here with our own recruiting and being a part of the 3K club and being able to prospect and talk to our new people, everybody's business isn't going to grow at the beginning of 2013, but it can really explode at the beginning of 2013 if we can take advantage of what we have going on right now. So keep your guys' eyes open for mixers around in this area. We're going to start getting, with myself and some of the leaders in the area, have mixers once a week, and also keep your eyes peeled for Brock and Eric. They're going to have several different mixers once a week, actually, for the next 8 weeks up in Columbus, and a few of those will be Ustream. So with that being said, just want to get on to the topic today, and something that I got by default. I didn't have a choice with my dad and living with him for a year. When I started was a different perspective on AdvoCare and maybe a business perspective. And so I'm just going to ask a few questions and just let him speak a little bit of what he thinks and what he saw on AdvoCare when he got started and what he sees with it now. So the first thing is what's your perspective and what was your first thoughts on Advisor?
Well, the thoughts on Advisor, as Graham and I met with Brock, was when we left, just getting a perspective of what it is to do a business and what it is to run a business. And one of the biggest things that I saw when we left was an opportunity to get into business for what I thought was a very low entry level, and that was the advisor level, the $2,100 that you would purchase your products. So one of the things that I looked at there was the ability to get products at a 40% discount and have the ability, if in fact you don't like the products or they don't work for you, you could actually turn them back in within 12 months. So there was a guarantee from the advisor level for the business. So the perspective of getting into advisor at that level gave twofold aspects. It was very highly discounted products, which made perfect sense to me because at the time we believed in the products. And the second part was entering a business and the business venture starting at $2,100, which absolutely amazed me because I had spent $3,000 on physician lunches the previous month, and I didn't know whether they were going to order or not from us or prescribe any of our products. So it just seemed like a really low entry way to get into a big business, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, so just to give a little background on myself, as me and my dad are sitting across the table from Brock Meadows, he's talking about $2,100, and my thought is, my goodness, that's a lot. Well, after about 5 minutes of listening to a different perspective, I saw that's really nothing. That's next to nothing. And now, moving forward, I'm able to share that with others to say, look, seriously, $2,100 with 12 months guarantee, and you're putting your money, your investment in a product that's just your inventory to help get your business started. It really is given strength and a completely different perspective to myself on Advisor. And so the next question is in regards to direct sales and how that relates to a business. And is this a pyramid? And you know, how do you build your downline? But how does that compare to, you know, your business and just business in general?
Well, this part really intrigues me, and it always has ever since I was actually in my 20s. I'm 48 now, and that perspective hasn't gone away. And that is that the way that a business is run and the ability to develop a business and then get paid residual dollars on that business has always been very appealing to me. But what is incredible is just looking at right now, I'm in the medical business, so I'm medical device business. And in the past, as a medical distributor, we were able to market multiple different products through our distributorship in the medical industry. And with that, we actually could get other people involved and pay them a percentage of what we received from the company that we were representing. So we were building a team, much like a direct sales team. We would build that team, and then those folks would get a percentage. But the thing that is very, very different, in my opinion, is that they can't surpass us. In this business, everybody actually gets in with the exact same comp plan, the exact same ability to go to any level. And what we have done, there was always a percentage that we would get, then we would cut that into a percentage that some of the other representatives would get. And if they wanted to get assistance from somebody else and tag them, in other words, give them a little piece or 2 or 3%, they were welcome to do that, except there was a finite amount of dollars that came from that. So from a business perspective, in going out and getting business, there's that part of it, which I find just very simple. It's a simplistic business. It's products, and then it's educating and informing people about those products and letting them either utilize the products or utilize a business part of it. But when you look at the parallel in getting no's, for instance, with getting no's in my business, I get no's on a regular basis from doctor's offices, I don't even get to talk often to the surgeon. So we get no's going into the offices, and when you get a no, you've at least planted the seed, you've at least marketed. And I look at that parallel between the AdvoCare business and my business, and that is that when I go in, I get no often. I give information, much like we would give an impact. I give flyers and information about my bone growth stimulator for post-fusion surgery. When we hand that to them, it just gets to them, and it's a seed. It's planted, they know about it, and at times we'll get no's. Well, what's very interesting to me is, for some reason, in direct sales and seeing this as a part-time business, people don't take it seriously enough to realize that it's okay to get a no. I get no's, and 3-4 years later, that surgeon will actually ask one of his staff to order a product that I have. And it will baffle me, because I've been going back in and he was refused to talk to me, and all of a sudden he orders a product. And it's because I planted the seed from a marketing or advertising standpoint that I'm the person to call if in fact you want to move forward with a bone growth stimulator. Same principle. Here's fantastic products. You have to go out and you have to share them with people, and some will say yes and some will say no. And it doesn't matter. It's, Graham and I have talked before about a perspective from owning a Subway, and somebody walks into a Subway and they say, well, I don't like tuna. And you have a tuna, I don't like the way you make your tuna sub. Well, we're not going to close the Subway because they don't like the way we make the tuna sub, because there's plenty of other people that are going to come in and buy product from us, and they do, and they come into our restaurant. Because often I've spent, if you do a Subway, it's $100,000 to $200,000 to get in. Well, the reason so many people will do whatever it takes is because they spent money and have a big investment. And I think if you had the idea that with this you can dive into it and act as if you spent $100,000, then when you get those no's, you'll move past the no's. But